And our first diver here is Brian Gorman. You're on the team, Connor, correct?
Yes, I am. It's a very fun season. We encourage more people to come out next year. We need some people. But Brian here, he's going to be doing a back somersault in the straight position. So let's look and see how he does here.
This is kind of scary. Hope he doesn't get hurt. Really tight. Good bounce. Brian on that. A little splash. Is that okay, or?
Yeah, the splash was fine. They're not really going to deduct for that. They're gonna take points off for the twist that he had at the end.
And now we have the Connor Tomlinson. Connor, what are you attempting here?
I will be doing a front dive with a half twist in the straight position. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy.
Now, you talk about the tightness, like the straight and tight. Like, what is all that?
It's just the different positions. You have tuck, pike, and straight. Tuck is when you get into a ball. Pike is when you go to your behind the legs, and straight is when you don't, and you just stay completely straight like that one was.
Yes, I would say you were completely straight with your little splash. So the splash doesn't mean anything, correct?
No, splash is fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And up again, we have Brian Gorman. Brian Gorman, I would say, since he did make it to districts, he has to be an average competitor.
Yeah, he's in the beginning of the season, we were about the same. He started to take off before me, but towards the end, we're back at the same position.
So it's kind of fun to practice because you two try to, like, outdo each other.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, I think Brian is doing a front double in tuck. Let's see how he does here. I came out a little bit late. Going to get some score deduction on that, but his height and tuck was very nice. Nice fast spin.
That was quick. Like, how do you guys practice that?
We just go off the board and just have fun with it.
It looks like a lot of fun, except when you mess up.
Yeah, it's painful when you mess up.
Now next we have Connor. You're going again. Connor, what are you going to attempt this time for us?
I will be doing a double pike. When you do this wrong, it really hurts. It hurts your feet when you land flat-footed.
Did you do it wrong?
No, it wasn't bad. Could have done better on it, but it's whatever. Yeah.
At this competition, were there people doing dives that are not really accomplished in high school, or?
Well, most of the dives these people were doing, I mean, these divers have been doing this all their life, so they're good at it. This is only my 4th year and Brian's 4th year, so the fact that we came to districts for only diving for 4 years is pretty incredible.
They talk about Brian. Here's Brian again, facing back towards the water. What is he attempting?
He's doing an inward 1.5. His legs were apart. Came in a little bit short. Shouldn't be major deductions. He had a nice hurdle.
His head was a little close to the board for my liking. I would not feel safe doing that.
It's part of the dive. It's got to be like that to get some good scores.
Now up again is Connor Tomlinson. I'm sorry, I messed up your name. Now, Connor, what are you attempting this time?
I'm doing a back dive in the straight position. It's another required dive. It's pretty easy. It's a nice dive. Could have gotten some better height, but.
Now, you talked about the required dives. How many dives are required that you guys have to do?
We had to do, I believe it was 3 required dives in the first round, 1 in the second round, and 1 in the third round, if you made it that far. So, yeah.
Now, is Brian about to attempt another required dive?
I think Brian now is doing a back double, I believe. He's pretty good at this dive. He usually nails it. So let's see how he does here.
And he's focused.
Came out very late. Probably not going to get some great scores on that. Maybe 4s, 4.5s maybe.
That looked like it's hurt his back a little bit. Is that how it's supposed to happen?
Nah, he's supposed to come out straight, so he just lands it straight, perfectly straight in the water. Usually that happens, but...
Now, Connor, you're up again. What are you going to attempt as you make your way towards the end? As you make your way towards the edge of the diving board?
Now I would be attempting a back 1.5 in tuck. It's one of my favorite dives, actually. I love doing this dive. So let's see how it goes.
Let's hope for the best.
Could have grabbed a little bit lower on the tuck, but all in all, it was a pretty solid dive. Should get like 5.5s maybe.
I would say that for the tuck, it was very acceptable, and the dive was a little splash. I know the splash is a big thing in your sport, right?
Splash is all right, just as long as it's not a massive splash.
So you don't want to do a cannonball.
That would be a big no-no.
Now here's Brian Gorman, and what is he going to attempt this time? And we have no clue. Let's watch.
Brian just did a half twist in the straight position. It's pretty good. His height was nice hurdle. Could have done the dive a little bit earlier, but it's still a good dive overall.
I have to give it to you guys, though, because doing this into water, it's basically like gymnastics, except I think, would you say that you guys could get more injured, or?
I think gymnastics is harder because they're not landing into a liquid. If they land, they're going to land into something hard, so.
It takes the same thing. Now, Connor, what did you just attempt there?
I did a inward 1.5 and tuck. Was not very good. My height was okay. I could have stayed over the board a little bit more. Came out very early, put it in the water short.
And who's next? See, at practice, do you try and perfect everything as you go, or is it you guys just focus on one thing at a time?
We pretty much focus on one thing at a time. Like the practice before this meet, I pretty much focused on keeping my legs together and my toes pointed so I could get some good scores.
In that last dive, I think that you did pretty well in that.
Last dive, my toes were pointed, but my legs were not together, so.
Now, Connor, what are you attempting right here as we watch you for the second time in a row?
I will be doing an inward dive pike. It's not that scary of a dive, but when you first learn it, it's pretty scary because you're going back towards the board. So some people might get scared of it, but I actually like this dive a lot.
Are you known as a reckless diver?
I'm not really reckless. That was actually one of my best dives. It was very nice and straight, toes pointed, legs together, nice height. So some good scores on that.
And Connor, here you go for what I believe is your final dive of the day. Do you believe that this dive is going to be your best dive of the day?
No, absolutely not. I don't think I will do very well on this dive. This is actually one of the dives that I did not want to do. I was pretty nervous on this one. Let's see what goes on.
You got a good bounce with a nice little pencil at the end. And there's your sister.
The dive was okay. It's a reverse dive tuck. It's when you go off front, but you go back towards the board. It was okay. Could have done better on it, but oh well. It was a fun time at districts, though. So, yeah.
How did you guys finish?
I believe I came somewhere around the 20s. I made it to the semifinals, and Brian Gorman got he only made it to the first, did not make it past the first round of diving, so he only did 5 dives. But it was a great experience for the both of us. I wish we could have done it all 4 years.
Do you feel like that it was at least a good way to go out as a senior?
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun. Had a good time doing it.
Well, I'm Wayne, here with Connor, and this right here is Districts Diving.